Hello, courageous learners, and a very warm welcome back to Grow English Mastery podcast. I'm Scarlett, and it's an honor to guide you through the fourth episode in our special 5-part series on the life and success stories of Barack Obama. Have you ever had to make a really difficult decision, where the risks were incredibly high and you didn't have all the information? Imagine you are the president, and you have to make a choice that could affect the safety of your country and the entire world. Today, we go inside the White House to witness one of the most high-stakes decisions a president can make. This is the thrilling, real-life story of the secret mission to find Osama bin Laden. By the end of this episode, you will not only understand this pivotal moment in history, but you will also improve your English. We will master 10 essential vocabulary words, like high-stakes decision and intelligence gathering. We will focus on the grammar of modal verbs for speculation and deduction, and I will give you practical tips for all 4 skills to help you understand and discuss dramatic historical events. So, let's go inside the Situation Room and explore the story of a president's toughest call. Part 1. The Decade-Long Hunt. To understand the importance of this story, we must first go back in time to September 11, 2001. On that day, a terrorist group called Al-Qaeda, led by a man named Osama bin Laden, attacked the United States. This event, known as 9/11, changed the world. After the attacks, finding Osama bin Laden became the #1 priority for the United States government. For nearly 10 years, it was a long and frustrating search. Bin Laden was the most wanted man in the world, but he seemed to have vanished. Intelligence agencies like the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, followed every lead and chased every clue, but he was an expert at hiding. When Barack Obama became president in 2009, he made it clear to his national security team that finding bin Laden was still a top priority. The hunt continued. Part 2. The Abbottabad Compound. After years of patient work, the CIA finally got a major lead. They didn't find bin Laden directly. Instead, they found his most trusted courier, a man who delivered messages for him. For months, intelligence agents secretly followed this courier. The trail eventually led them to a large, mysterious compound in a town called Abbottabad, in Pakistan. The compound was very unusual. It was much larger than other houses in the area. It had extremely high walls, topped with barbed wire. It had no phone lines and no internet connection. The residents burned their trash instead of putting it out for collection. And most suspiciously, there was a tall, mysterious figure who would often walk around inside the compound but never, ever left. The CIA believed this man could be Osama bin Laden, but they weren't 100% sure. They had no definitive proof. Part 3. A President's Toughest Call. For months, President Obama held a series of top-secret meetings in the White House Situation Room. The Situation Room is a secure conference room where the president and his top advisors meet to handle crises. He brought together his entire national security team, the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense, top generals, and the Director of the CIA. They debated the options. The evidence was strong, but not perfect. What should they do? One option was a massive bombing raid to destroy the compound. But this was risky. It could kill innocent civilians nearby, and they might never be able to prove if bin Laden was actually there. The other option was much more dangerous, but also more precise. A secret raid by a team of special forces. This would involve flying helicopters secretly into another country, landing at the compound, and having soldiers go inside to find and capture or kill bin Laden. The risks were enormous. The helicopters could crash. The soldiers could be killed. It could cause a major diplomatic crisis with Pakistan. And worst of all, what if bin Laden wasn't even there? The entire mission would be a failure and a global embarrassment. The advisors were divided. Some supported the raid, others thought it was too risky. The final decision was Obama's alone. As commander-in-chief, he had to weigh the risks and the potential rewards. After sleeping on it for one final night, he made his decision. On April 29, 2011, he gave the order, "Go." Part 4. Geronimo E.K.I.A. On the night of May 2011, in the United States, two specially designed stealth helicopters took off from a base in Afghanistan and flew silently into Pakistan. On board was a team of elite U.S. Navy SEALs. Their destination: the Abbottabad compound. Back in Washington, D.C., President Obama and his team gathered in the Situation Room to watch the operation unfold in real time. There is a famous photograph of that moment, showing the president and his advisors watching intently, the tension visible on their faces. For what felt like an eternity, they watched and waited. The raid was full of tense moments, including a helicopter crash landing inside the compound. Finally, after a firefight, the SEALs were inside the main building. Then, a voice came over the radio from the commander of the raid. He used a code word for bin Laden: Geronimo. He said the historic words, Geronimo E.K.I.A. E.K.I.A. stood for Enemy Killed in Action. Osama bin Laden was dead. Later that night, President Obama addressed the nation and the world. He announced that the United States had conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden. It was a moment of justice and relief for many, and a defining moment of his presidency. Now, let's explore 10 key vocabulary words from this dramatic story. Intelligence gathering. A noun phrase. The process of collecting secret information about an enemy, a competitor, or a foreign country. Spelling: INTELLIGENCEGATHING. Years of intelligence gathering led the CIA to the compound in Abbottabad. Intelligence gathering is a crucial part of national security. High-stakes decision, a noun phrase. A choice or decision that has a very high level of risk and very serious consequences if it is wrong. Spelling High-stakes-decision. Authorizing the raid was a very high-stakes decision for the president. Starting a new company is always a high-stakes decision for an entrepreneur. Commander-in-Chief, a noun. The person who is in supreme command of a country's armed forces. In the USA, this is the president. Spelling COMMANDERINCHIEF. As Commander-in-Chief, Obama had the final authority to approve the mission. The general reported directly to the Commander-in-Chief. Special Forces, a noun phrase. A group of soldiers who are specially trained for carrying out difficult and dangerous missions. Spelling SPECIALFORCES. The raid was carried out by a team of elite special forces. He served in the Special Forces for 10 years. Navy SEALs, a noun. A member of the sea, air, and land teams. The main special operations force of the U.S. Navy. Spelling NAVYSEALS. The operation was conducted by the elite Navy SEALs Team 6. It takes incredible physical and mental strength to become a Navy SEAL. Raid, a noun. A surprise attack on an enemy by soldiers or police. Spelling RAID. The president authorized the helicopter raid on the compound. The police conducted a raid on the warehouse to seize illegal goods. Operation, a noun. A planned military or police action. Spelling OPERATION. The secret operation was a success. The entire military operation was planned in great detail. Situation room, a noun phrase. A secure room in a place like the White House, from which political or military leaders can monitor and manage a crisis. Spelling SITUATIONROOM. President Obama and his team watched the raid from the Situation Room. The famous photograph was taken inside the White House Situation Room. Calculated risk, a noun phrase. A risk that you consider worth taking because the result, if it is successful, will be very good. Spelling CALCULATEDRISK. The decision to launch the raid was a calculated risk. Starting a new business is always a calculated risk. To confirm a verb. To state or show that something is definitely true or correct. Spelling CONFIRM. The soldiers needed to confirm bin Laden's identity. The White House later confirmed that the mission was successful. Now, let's look at our grammar focus. Modal verbs for speculation and deduction. When the CIA found the compound, they were not 100% sure bin Laden was there. To talk about this uncertainty, we use modal verbs like might, may, and could. Might have, may have, and could have, plus past participle are used to talk about a possibility in the past. The advisors thought bin Laden might have been inside the compound. They knew the mission could have failed in many ways. We use must have plus past participle when we feel very sure that something was true in the past, based on the evidence. After seeing all the security measures, the agents thought, he must have been an important person. We use can't have plus past participle when we feel very sure that something was not true in the past. The person inside can't have been an ordinary citizen. This grammar is perfect for discussing situations where you don't have all the facts, like in an intelligence operation. Now, how can you practice? For listening, watch a clip from a spy or action movie in English, like Mission, Impossible or James Bond. Listen for the language of risk and uncertainty. For speaking, discuss a difficult decision you once had to make. What were the risks? What were the possibilities? Use might have and could have. For reading, read a news article about a current event. Notice how the journalists use modal verbs when they are not 100% certain about the facts. For writing, write a short paragraph about the risks of the bin Laden raid. Use might have and could have to describe what could have gone wrong. The story of the bin Laden raid is a dramatic example of high-stakes leadership. It required President Obama to weigh uncertain intelligence against enormous risks and make a final, lonely decision. It's a story of incredible precision and courage from the special forces, and years of patient work by the intelligence community. It shows that leadership is often about making the toughest calls when there is no easy answer. As we conclude our session, let's summarize the key takeaways. First, we learned the thrilling story of the decade-long hunt for Osama bin Laden, culminating in the successful raid in Abbottabad. Second, we went inside the White House Situation Room to understand the high-stakes decision-making process President Obama faced as Commander-in-Chief. Third, we learned 10 essential vocabulary words for discussing this story. As a review, those words were intelligence gathering, high-stakes decision, Commander-in-Chief, Special Forces, Navy SEALs, Raid, Operation, Situation Room, Calculated Risk, and to confirm. And finally, we focused on the grammar of speculation, using modal verbs like might have, could have, and must have, to discuss uncertain past events. Thank you for joining me today on Grow English Mastery Podcast. What do you think is the most important quality for a leader when facing a high-stakes decision? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you found this lesson helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss the final episode in our Obama series. Keep learning, stay courageous, and I will see you in the next lesson. Until next time, take care, and happy learning. Bye for now.